What makes a photo cinematic? As photographers, we have the power to create stories within a single frame, and as challenging as it may be, it's part of the beauty of our craft. By combining composition, lighting, and colour grading, we can capture the magic of cinema with a single shot. And that is what we are looking at for today. We will look at just how we can edit and colour grade our photo with Luminar Neo to create a cinematic mood. We will first fine-tune our photo's lighting, and then we will start to add mood and atmosphere through Luminar's many colour grading tools such as toning and colour harmony. Okay, so this is the image that we're working with here. It's got a nice shallow depth of field, which I particularly like. And what I'm going to do is jump straight into my developing tools and work on creating an S-curve. And what that's going to do is bring out my highlights and deepen my shadows. And the reason why we're doing, working on our lighting here rather than up here is because I get more control over my midpoints, more precise control, which is exactly what we need when trying to create a cinematic edit. And that's looking good so far. Now I'm going to go down to vignetting. And what that's going to do is darken the corners of my image. And what that will do is guide our viewer's attention to the center where our subject is. We're going to bring it in a subtle amount, like so. But also I think the highlights here at the bottom are a bit too bright, so I'm going to reduce those. And a great way to do that is to bring in a mask. So I'm going to apply a linear gradient mask, which will apply a gradual transition of the effect that we're bringing in. And in our case, that is going to be just reducing the exposure just a touch, like so. Let me show you a before and after of that. You can see it's a subtle amount, but it's doing its job. It's guiding our viewer's attention right into the center of the frame. And then we're going to also apply some film grain. Only a subtle amount. Cinema and film, it's still got film grain. It's a slight amount. If I go up all the way into like the 20s here, I'm going to be emulating film photography. So what I want to do is stick around 8 to 10 area. It's just enough to create that effect. And also, I think I want to apply some dodge and burn. And the reason for that is I've got this light source here on the left. I find it interesting. I don't want to reduce it too harshly. I might have to, a touch later on. But I also am losing a little bit of attention onto the umbrella and the subject's head. So I'm going to bring that in by lightening up the umbrella. So dodge and burn tool. I can increase the size of my brush using the bracket key, the right bracket key, and reduce with the left bracket key. I'm going to just paint over the umbrella, like so. Okay, and then the top of his head's probably a little bit too bright, so I'm going to darken that. And then I'm also going to brighten up the side of his neck just here. We've got some light reflecting on there, so we can enhance that. And we'll show you before and after. And you can see that's made a dramatic change. Just helping him stand out a little bit more and, getting more attention on him for our viewer. And I think that's enough for now. I'm probably going to have to go back and adjust ever so slightly later on. But I think now we're ready to jump onto the color grading. So when it comes to color grading, Luminar Neo has plenty of tools on offer to choose from. I've mentioned in several previous other videos that I really like the landscaping tool, even for street photography. And we also need to take control of the temperature of our image as well. Now, when it comes to color grading, it is worth studying color theory. And what that will do is allow you to understand which color harmonies work well together to visually enhance your photo. What I will do is take a dominant color, either from the highlights or the shadow. It's usually the highlights. And work from there. So we've got this light source here on the left. It's of an orange and yellow hue. So I need to contrast that now with some cooler tones. So let's jump into the color harmony tool inside of the professional panel, and we'll go down to color balance. And what we need to do is lean away from warmer tones in the shadows and the midtones to contrast our warmer highlights, like so. And then in the highlighted areas, we're going to do the exact opposite. Move into those warmer tones and away from those cooler tones. And then let's control our temperature. Like so. All right, brilliant. Let's move on to the landscape tool. And what this will do, it will provide warmth in those highlighted areas only as opposed to the image overall. And that's why I really like using this tool, particularly for night photography and all of those different light sources that you have in your image. It works really well. And then finally, we're going to go to the color tool. And I always use this tool right until the end because this is going to give me more precise control over my colors in my image. So what I want to do with this one is move towards brighter blues. And I also just want to see if I can just reduce the luminance a touch on that light source. Nothing too much. And then I'm going to hue shift to a more teal tone, like so. And then I think it's worth probably reducing the vibrance and the saturation. It's a little bit too strong in my image, I believe. There we go. And let's have a look at a before and after. So you can see that it is always worth going into the color tool and getting more precise control over all of those different tones within your image. And that is the color grade done. I'm going to show you a before and after of the overall edit. There we go, it's looking great. And I think just a touch of mid-tone, pushing those mid-tones a touch will go a long way. Like so. So the key takeaways are that once you've got the lighting right in your image, setting the mood for the shots, you can then move on towards your color grading. And it is certainly worth learning color theory, as that will go a long way towards helping you achieve a cinematic aesthetic for your shots. If you've made any color edits recently and you want to share those with us, you can do so using the hashtag madewithluminar, and I will see you in the next one.